Hi, everyone. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and we have a big treat for you today. SL369 is back with Maya from Shining Bull Astrology, and they have some price predictions on Digibyte. I know that a lot of our crew love Digibyte as well. We love the decentralization and just the whole community. So excited to bring SL and Maya on to talk about Digibyte price predictions. So you guys give us a like, share this video. Well, no, don't share this video just yet. This is for Patreon only. So like the video, but don't share it. But get your little notes out because I've got mine over here. I'm going to be taking notes on what SL and Maya both have to say about Digibyte. So we'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back to the new normal. Maya and SL, how are you guys today?
Very good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to talk about Digibyte. I know we were plotting and planning which coins to cover, and you guys had so much information on different coins. This was one that we were really excited about at our household. So, Maya, all good on your end?
Yes, great, and nice to be here.
So, let's see. SL, you were sending me some screenshots that you were starting to get some visions on Digibyte. Do you know, was that your first one that you sent me? I can't remember. I'm trying to go peek back through. But you were seeing some movement in Digibyte soon. I don't know. Should we go over Digibyte just a little bit? Most of us, I think most people know what Digibyte is in the community. Digibyte's a decentralized cryptocurrency. It's similar to Bitcoin and Litecoin in that it's decentralized and it's used for as a cryptocurrency, but then it's also has this DigiID. There's a lot of stuff that we've covered in the past on some of my Mom Minute Mondays, my crypto news days. Most recently, there was some really big news about Microsoft 365 using DigiID for safe logins for security. So I think that could affect the price a lot as we see it being used for secure ID. And logging in with Microsoft. So there's lots and lots. I'm trying to think of, I was going to share the screen really quick to do just kind of a quick history chart-wise on Digibyte. I think this is the right one. Is this right? Digibyte chart.
Yes.
Wow, it really looks like it's dropped a bunch. Might be a great opportunity then from what you guys are seeing. So this shows, what is this, Monday, April 12th? Wow, it's really down. So
today is, there's the sun is going to be switching signs soon. And also Mars is also about to leave the sign where Mars has been with Rahu for quite some time. So today itself is a pretty weird day. Like people can be feeling mental exhaustion or, all kinds of these.
Lisa, if you click on 1 year chart, it looks much better.
Oh, thank you.
1 year.
Oh, I'm just looking at 24 hours. Woo, that was much better. I was like, what in the world? Why is it so low? Yeah, that helps a lot. That's much better. Looks much more like Digibyte. I know, we got in to cryptocurrency, and Digibyte was one of the ones that we were introduced to in 2017. So I was like, this doesn't seem right. Sorry, guys, I'm not so good at the charting, but we'll catch up here eventually. So SL, do you want to kick us off with some of the things you've seen and what you're hearing from your guides about Digibyte?
Yes, so Digibyte, I was introduced to this crypto in 2018 by a psychic named Cher Michelle. I forgot what month, probably toward mid-September 2018. Then at the end of 2018, I got a visions where I can say he is a group of people. I will call him he for now. He provided me a bunch of vision all at once. In like $3, $5, $7, $9, and then he kept going as I get these vision via I kind of flash because I see the visions. So I'm like clairvoyant, so I see image. So I keep saying flash because they provide me information via visuals. So I got an image like a TV inside my head, inside my third eye. So he gave me a lot of predictions starting from DGB at the time was like below a penny. And he gave me like, for example, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 15, 20, and he kept going. And I thought like, when will he end? But I was on my phone and write all down. And then after he provided me all the visions, the last number he stopped at was $150. And I'm like, whoa, this is really high.
Wow.
So that was like December 2018. And then for about a year and a half, about 2 years, I thought DGB at $150 is an all-time high. But it was not. Last year in my sleep, they came into my sleep and told me that DGB would go to $180. And I thought that's high. Then a few months ago, they gave me now versions where they said that DGB one day will go to $422.
Okay,
And I thought, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the screenshot I'm sharing here. That was so January 25th, 2021. And you guys were showing some of these screenshots just so you can kind of see if you join SL's Patreon, then she gives you a link to a private Discord group. And this is kind of how when she sees these visions or has these flashes or hears the information, then she'll go in and post and tell you. And it talks about, I love this part. Treat this very advanced vision from my group of guides as a gift to humanity. They provide it to us. I didn't ask for a higher price prediction. I thought 180 was already an incredible price for DigiByte. So then they show you DigiByte $422 when it was currently not even 2 cents, I guess, or just over 2 cents. Wow.
So they provide me information well in advance. And then at $422, then a few months ago, they came back. I woke up one day, right around probably 9 o'clock or something. I woke myself up because they gave me a version higher than $422. They gave to me like something in 1,000. And then I shocked myself. Like I was so shocked, I woke myself up. I sat in my bed for a few minutes, and then I said, oh my God, that's a lot of, like, that's very high. So I haven't shared that information with the public or my patrons. I don't know when I will share, because people has been getting impatient with DigiByte because DigiByte has been a little slower in terms of price movement. A lot of other cryptocurrency, like competitor or even Theta, BTC, Ethereum, Binance, almost every cryptocurrency has surpassed DigiByte, and people get really impatient. So by me throwing out a higher predictions than $422, make them more impatient. So I haven't shared. I haven't figured out a reason to share, but it's like in the thousands.
Wow.
And last night I have been trying to figure out, like, I have certain like quantity of DigiByte gold in my hand I want to obtain. Like for example, some people want to have like 100,000 DigiByte. Some people want 50,000 DigiByte. I have a number in my head, and then have been debating, should I sell some Dogecoin or should I sell some XRP to reach my DigiByte goal. I've been debating that internally for the past few days. So last night I asked them, it's like, hey, I know that one day DigiByte will be listed on Coinbase. Can you tell me what month? And then they gave me the logo DigiByte name, and then but they sort of like shove it in my face, like so close to my face. I'm like, okay. They didn't tell me like what month, but they know that I've been like trying to buy more. So I guess that is a sign of them that like I should go ahead and buy more, and DigiByte will rise this year. That I know. I feel that it will rise much higher this year.
So them shoving it in your face was kind of like soon, like don't sleep on this, get on this kind of thing.
Yeah. So actually, a few weeks ago, when DGB was at 5 cents, I really want to buy more, and then it spiked to 9 cents. I said, "Oh my god, I missed my opportunity." Then luckily, it has gone down a little bit. Like I told my group that any good project that have a correction, I love it because I can buy more. Like because I know that it's just a temporary pullback. And it's good. It's on sales basically. That's how I see it. You know, the crypto is on sale. You buy a little more, and then it will go back up and things like that. So just look at Binance. Binance is insanely crazy. It went from last year was maybe $100, $89. Today is like a few days ago it's $600. And I can provide some inside information now for people, even though this is not a Binance videos. So Binance this year, I feel that will go to $1,600. Right now, it's almost $600. Wow. Like $591, it will be at $700 in like a blink of an eye. I don't know why. And this morning, when I log onto KuCoin, I say, why Binance is not at the $700 yet? It's supposed to be. So always at $700 very soon, and then $1,200 this year. I don't know, like at the end of the price for the end of the year, but like this Binance will be like, I call them the mini Ethereum in the making. I told my group that this morning. Binance is like the little Ethereum that you want to buy now, and then hang on to it.
Yes, because totally agree.
He's building an empire that a lot of people didn't know until this year.
Correct. Completely agree.
Really interesting. Yeah, I'm not, I don't have a lot of information on Binance Coin, but I did pull up, this is the 1-year chart, and boy, that you've really seen that rise, but you're saying this is just the beginning.
Yes.
Wow.
It goes into the 1,000 because Binance basically building Ethereum network, and then the DeFi, they provide, I think, yielding, farming, staking, pooling, and then
there's no way to. There's just unstoppable kind of thing.
Yeah, but also it's so cheap. Their transaction fee is like under a penny, under $1. Like Ethereum is like $20, and then the total supply is 170 million right now. He wants to burn more token for it to go down to 100 millions. So less than DigiByte, less than the ADA. Sorry,
No. We got it. So less than 80 or Cardano.
Yeah. So DigiByte, they said go ahead buy some more. So my every few months I get vision for DigiByte, even though I didn't ask. The stuff that I asked, they didn't provide, but they keep telling me, the price go up. I don't get like low price prediction for DigiByte or Bitcoin anymore. That's how I know the direction of the market.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, Maya, do you want to share a little bit about the birth chart for DigiByte?
Yeah, I can tell you that right now DigiByte is in a very important period. This is seen from one of the divisional charts. The period that DigiByte is running right now, and basically I believe this is going until April of 2022. So let's say for the next year is a period where they're going to be getting a lot of work done, a lot of work and partnerships, and like work that's basically going to take them into the future. And we may not know that this work is being done, but it's like a very fundamental work that's happening. And at the same time, it's interesting, like today the price is going down. Well, Sun is about to move into Aries. Aries is where DigiByte has its natal moon and its natal Ketu. Now, on one hand, this tells me I feel actually already that there's a lot happening, or there's some real fundamental work that's being done, that this team is doing. And that can actually be that can be kind of quite blessed with this coming month, actually. But at the same time, what it reminds me of is the fact that, as I see, Sun will be transiting natal Ketu. Well, beginning in March of next year, this coin is going to have a nodal inversion. And what I saw is that this nodal inversion is also like coinciding with let me see, I have this nodal inversion that's going to start, let's say like end of March of this coming year. It's actually at the same time, because beginning April 1st, the price is going to start climbing in a very steady way. And I see that in the chart. And so what this tells me is that there's going to be some kind of turning point that happens that causes it to move into a new price territory. I believe like a year from now, and that's going to be based on whatever is already happening right now that we probably don't know about.
Okay, so the action that's happening behind the scenes right now will cause
Yes.
that big price increase next
Yes.
year.
Yes.
So,
but that
SL
price
seeing,
increase
like,
will be a steady thing.
Okay, because SL seeing 1,200 by the end of the year. No, I'm sorry, that was Binance.
No, that's for Binance.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm over here making notes, and I'm like, no, that's the wrong coin. I'm going to confuse everyone. Sorry about that. Yeah, so you don't see a lot of action by the end of this year with DigiByte then? Well, I guess you're seeing it's all behind the scenes.
No. There is a good price action, but like what I would say is that, so right now it can basically climb, basically starting now, which we've kind of seen that quite recently. I think it started climbing a little bit more, I think. And that's because actually right now, like it began just less than a week ago, Jupiter and Saturn are in a mutual aspect of their natal Saturn. Then DigiByte's natal Saturn is a very important planet. But it's also indicating a lot of hard work. However, it's also blessing this, the financial gain, because Jupiter will be 11th from the moon. However, I want to say that, yes, it will gain, but if we see any dip, like, for example, if there's a dip when Jupiter moves back into Capricorn mid-September, I wouldn't recommend, me personally, I would wait, because like SL was mentioning, like using these dips to accumulate, because after beginning again November 20th, it's going to start climbing, and then it will start climbing in a much more serious way beginning at the beginning of April. So that's what I think. I mean, maybe there are people who are wanting, they're impatient, but what I see is that what's happening now is going to really is changing their course, and we'll come to understand that in March or April. And so, yeah, you can see some good gains, but any dip might not be. I personally will not sell in a dip that happens in the fall. I won't.
Interesting. It makes me wonder if that DigiID is going to somehow be, with all the shenanigans.
Yeah. When you
with
said
the count,
that, right? When you said that, I was.
Yeah, having that Microsoft using it for a secure login ID identifying, and then we're hearing all this noise about different IDs. I don't know. it'd be interesting to know if they were. And then SL's message from her guides, and it said about it's for the people. Isn't that the wording?
Oh, the vision, the long-term vision, bigger.
Was that the long-term vision when it was for the people?
Oh, I said that. I think that $422. I said that.
Yes.
Treat this very advanced vision from my group of spirit guide as a gift to humanity. They provide to us. I didn't ask for a higher vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. You were saying the vision was the gift to humanity. I was just hearing all that and putting that all together with, well, maybe that helps with the shenanigans of the count and all that we've been through. But
yes, by the end of this period I was mentioning, so by the beginning of April, by April 1st of 2022, this project DigiByte is going to have some important contracts in the field of, like, it could be national security, it could be like security related, and it could definitely have some kind of governmental aspect to it, actually. So when you mentioned the Microsoft ID thing, yeah, I thought, oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So also in December 2020, I got a vision where they said that DigiByte will go to $46. And then they also said the reason is, they said Europe. So they will probably have some kind of business contract with corporation or governments in Europe. And when they have that, the price will be at 46. I think DigiByte will probably have some other business contract or contract with the governments before the $46. But I know that DigiByte will have multiple contracts around the globe. It's just slow.
That makes a lot of sense, SL, what you just said with their chart, because they have Ketu in the 12th house with their moon. And Ketu is something that kind of refracts things and creates multiplicity. So what you just said really resonates a lot. 12th house is foreign lands.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
And DigiByte, they sort of do things by the book. You know, the marketing is not as on point to some people. They don't really provide us the roadmap because the whole team a volunteer team, so they not pay, so they don't have a committed timeline. Like, for example, Theta or ADA, they said, you know, this month we accomplished this. So basically, the volunteer team, whatever they can accomplish in a month or a quarter, then they will like publish sort of like March result for DigiByte. The way they operate is very different than other projects, and some people don't like that. Some people want to know tell me what you're going to do, and then at the end of the quarter, tell me what you have accomplished. DigiByte is not like that. And also,
well, DigiByte's decentralized, so they can't do that because, like you said, it's it's open source, so anyone can work on it or create something on it, but then the community confirms or affirms it by using it. So I would see that they couldn't really put those kind of things out there. Do they have a foundation, like a DigiByte foundation?
I think they have a foundation.
Okay, that does like their marketing. I don't know. But most of it is, volunteer. I think all of it is volunteer.
Yeah, all of them are volunteer. And they have been very private and quiet in terms of like what project they're working on, or if they're working on any contracts. They don't give us a lot of hints until it's almost completely wrapped up, or they about to sign a contract. A lot of investors don't like that. They want to have regular update information like other projects.
Yeah.
And that's not DigiByte. DigiByte is not that kind of projects. Require a lot of patience. So DGB is like a crypto where you buy it, just let it sit there, and then when the time is right, it will rise because they either list it on Coinbase or they secure a bunch of different contracts. Their software is decentralized and more secure. Also, the U.S. government will use their software in multiple capacity. So if your future business contract is with government, you don't go on you go on Twitter and tell people, hey, this is what we work on every week. They don't do that.
Yeah. No, they would have, I'm sure they would have non-disclosure agreements on steroids. So that's really interesting that you're both picking up on those government contracts, not only in the US, but around the world. Really interesting. You mentioned Coinbase. Do either of you see it being listed on Coinbase or any kind of is it going to be listed on Coinbase, or does it need to be? Is that going to affect it?
It will be listed on Coinbase in the future. One of my Patreon member 2 months ago, she got a vision where DGB will be listed on Coinbase. She shared with us last night, a few days ago. I feel they will be listed on Coinbase when DGB daily price volume increases a certain level, and Coinbase want to list them so they can have the transactions revenue. So they will they will list them just like Binance listed them.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who convinced them. Like maybe one of the founder or team member of DGB, but I was shocked that they actually listed because in
they don't really have that transaction volume yet.
Yeah, because DGB don't pay for exchange fee because the whole foundation is volunteer. They don't have money. They don't believe in that as well. So I got a vision in, I think, July 2019. I said, DGB will be listed on Binance, and at that time, Jared and CZ wasn't in agreement. Anyway, last year, I think it was last year they got listed on Coinbase. Last year, I think last year they got listed on Binance. Sorry. So I was shocked. I was shocked that they actually listed Binance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be one of the things that, you see the DGB community asking for a lot, at least on crypto Twitter, is really wanting to get listed on Coinbase. And it's my understanding that it's just like a calculation of you have to have so much volume or so much transaction for it to be worth them listing you on there. So, but if this use case fills up, is exponentially more with the, between the Microsoft login and then whatever government contracts we're seeing, not just here in the US, but possibly, you guys mentioned Europe. So if that in Europe, that was that $46. You said something about
by that time. Yeah, I think by that time DGB will be at 46.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Really exciting.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Maya. No, you
no,
go
just that, this Jupiter transit is happening 10th from the Lagna and 11th from the Moon, and Moon is also the Dasha Lord. So that means it's aspecting like the second house from the Lagna, which is liquidity, but it's also aspecting that third house from the Moon, which is like it can also relate to trading. It's like courageous actions, and so what I feel is that any kind of like listing is going to go hand in hand with whatever it's like they're building a real their future, like what their path, what they're here to do, and as that's being shown, it's like the liquidity part will also be come into play. Maybe some listing on, like you're speaking of Coinbase, so, or even, I don't know if Voyager has this, but that came to mind. Something that's more, how can I say, like, has some tie into like the status quo, you know, because like Voyager is something that people, I don't know, like it's like a custodial thing. It just seems
A little
more,
safer
anyway.
or more
Yeah,
mainstream?
something. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So I don't know if they have that on there now, but that's just what I think of. Yeah. Anyway.
So Maya,
Really
I think earlier you said that DGB is working on some business contract right now, and they will probably close a deal like around April.
Yeah, before then, and now even things are happening, and they're going to be happening even more once, beginning like tomorrow, like once the sun enters into Aries. I see. Actually, this month could be a big month itself.
That's really exciting. You mentioned before we go, I wanted to see, you mentioned this. I've been just exhausted the last 2 days. And I
I
don't know if you guys
understand.
follow Schumann resonance, but they've had just like off the chart um, energies from space or the resonance of the earth. And do you see that in charts, or do you guys get any messaging about that? Is there, I don't know. Do you have insight on that, Maya? You kind of touched on it a little bit, talking about us going into this. Was it the moon into Aries? Or
The
going
sun
into?
is about to go into Aries, but are you speaking about their chart in particular, or how we're all feeling, like
No, how
on
we're
the
all feeling.
Yeah, it's a intense couple of days because there's like the sun is going to make this transit. The Mercury has been combust. Then just yesterday and the past few days, Moon has been transiting where this Mercury was combust. Sun transiting into a new sign is a very delicate time for all human beings. And so, not to mention that as Sun is about to enter into Aries, we have Mars, who I'm noticing is feeling quite riled up, and that Mars is about to leave the sign where Mars was with Rahu, who gets Mars quite furious. So it's not, these past couple of days are not not so easy for a lot of people, including myself. So yeah.
Oh, so so you're feeling it too. Are we going to come out of
Definitely.
it soon? Will there be, do you see a significant event in the world, or some announcement either being caused by all this, divine movement, or like, will we know when this weirdness is over?
Well, it depends on what weirdness you're referring to, because you may be feeling the weirdness that began a while ago, which is still
Oh,
being
okay.
resolved, because on the beginning, it's been a while, but when the nodal axis transited through Gemini, and at the same time Jupiter was in a very delicate position, Jupiter and Saturn were together opposing with that in the nodal axis. Now that was something that we're still recovering from now,
Okay.
That was, for example, when COVID began, So COVID is just something that we can see or has some form, but it's a form of something that's not just COVID, It's something much much more, and COVID is like a manifestation that we can formalize. So we are still recovering from that itself.
Interesting. I just wondered, I'm just like, you kind of mentioned it in there, that we're in this time and these last few days and the energy that we're having, and
Yeah,
I'm
these
definitely
few
feeling
days
it.
are
So
not easy. Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
Well, we got to send each other a lot of love and light, and help us get through this. Thank you both for sharing this information about Digibyte. I think it's really exciting, and I love that there's a long future to Digibyte as well. It looks like there's going to be some opportunity. I mean, now to buy in, as well as in the future, and then watching knowing that this activities happening on the backside, and we'll be able to have this opportunity to get in and then be a part of what that does in the future. I think it's pretty exciting. Estelle, do you have any closing statements on DigiByte? Anything else we need to share with everybody?
Sure. So Maya and I spoke offline, and what she said I agree with. She said that DigiByte is the one cryptocurrency she won't sell, which means that if it go down, she won't sell. It's a long-term hold cryptocurrency. A lot of people are impatient about it, but she said that starting September 30th, 2020, which was like last year, that's when the star aligned and the price started to move. I think a lot of people didn't notice that DigiByte went from 2 cents to like 9 cents. That's very, very significant. And then it's aligned with astrology informations. So the reason that I'm thinking of getting more DigiByte, because DigiByte will be around for like at least 10 years. And if you have to wait for DigiByte to get to 1,000 to sell, you want to sell a little bit along the way. So if you have, for example, if you have 100,000 DigiByte, you can sell like 5,000 DigiByte and then some later on. But if you just have like 5,000 DigiByte, then when you sell, you have nothing left. So that's the reason that I'm thinking of buying more, because we sell in little chunk, at $10, $25, $100, whatever it is. DigiByte just require patience, focus on some other cryptocurrency that's running, give us like a lot of cash flow and profit. Just trust us, and this DigiByte is the real deal. They will surprise us.
And I just want to say that you can have about selling, like you could have because all the way through March 30th of 2025, we're in a certain period. Then if you see before the end of March of 2025, which again is several years from now, if you see, okay, I've met a certain, price goal for myself, then it's also not, one can sell, because then they enter into another type of intense phase that could be very good or could be bad. But the point is that that's also far in the future. It gives it a long time to grow quite a bit. And then like SL is saying, like having more so that you can do that is an interesting idea. I'm not a financial advisor, but as an astrologer, knowing their cycles, I can say that makes sense.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I know in Cliff High's WebBot data, he talked about DigiByte having, quote, long legs, and really, so having a bright future. And one of you all posted, or in the communication that we had, we were talking about that one day DigiByte will be like in the top 5 coins.
Yes.
So
I saw that.
Exciting. Yeah.
This chart, this coin is not a normal. Their chart is it's just a very it's quite different, and there's a lot happening. I think they are very hardworking, and I think that it's their kind of use case is different, and it can be pretty big because of the government or security aspect of it. These contracts that they can get. So
I think that's a complete game changer. That's huge, huge.
Maya, what do you mean by it's not a normal chart? Can you?
No, I don't mean to say that like no chart is normal. It's just that this chart really, for me, it's a very I say weird, but I'm just talking in a colloquial way. But no chart is weird, but I get a weird vibe in the sense when I look at it, I see it's quite like I've mentioned, like there's a big security and secrecy aspect to this chart, and a government, and something that is like kind of you don't see what's actually happening, and what's in the works is something that can make it quite hegemonic, like quite above ground. Like right now, people don't see the work that's being done. And then it's almost like there's a moment where suddenly people see, oh, like, just wait for that news day when,
Like it just
we see like,
dynamically
oh,
explodes.
it's being used for this, like the whatever US government, whatever security or, whatever, whether it's private or public, like you mentioned, Microsoft, that's also
Right.
a huge company. So it could also be, since companies are like countries now, like who knows, but it's almost like I see some news day coming where we see like, oh, okay, now, and then it just reflects in obviously how the status of this coin within the space, I think.
It's really, really exciting. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing this with us. We'll have another coin for you guys next Monday for Patreon and for the private groups, and then we'll release those out to the public a few days later. So you guys get the inside information first. If you are following SL, you can find SL on Patreon. Let's see. I thought I had hers already pulled up. Oh, wrong browser. I've got like 4 browsers open and all kinds of stuff going on over here. Let's
Me
see.
too.
Do you? Okay, good.
I think that, no, like today has been just like like that, like so many things
Chaos.
happening at the same time.
Yeah,
So
complete
funny.
chaos is where I'm working from today. So here is SL's Patreon. Go find that, and I'll have the link in the description below. And you guys, and then from there, she'll send you a link to her Discord. But it's definitely
And my Telegram too.
Yes,
Please
yes,
put my Telegram so they can check in.
Telegram as well. Shining Bull at Shining Bull
Hey,
Astrology.
cool.
On
Yeah.
So
Hey.
we've got that. Yeah, good information on all of those. So you guys check that out. And we'll see you next Monday on the new normal. We're trying to find our new normal. I'm telling you, it's been a crazy day. Take care, everybody.
Bye, Lee.